All right. This is 10.6. We've gone over already volume of a sphere, but I'm guessing some of these are going to be the questions that you have. Okay. Number 4. It's a cylinder. With two hemispheres on it, okay? And it says, this is 6. This is 6. And this is 12. Alright? The formula for a cylinder is volume equals base times height. And volume for a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. Alright? So if we take these two together, they're going to make a full full sphere, right? So all you're going to do is use a formula. Okay? Put those two together. Alright? That's too easy. Now 12, you're going to do the same thing. This is still going to be the radius because it's coming from the center of it all the way to the outside of it, to the outside of the sphere, which still is going to be the radius. So what's the formula for that? Volume equals base of the area. So what's the area? How do you find the area of a circle? Formula? Pi r cubed times the height, right? So, area of a circle equals our base. This is our base, right? Don't forget that. When we say base for a volume, it's the area of the base. This is our base of our prism, so we need the area of the base. So, the area B is going to be pi 6 cubed times the height. Height of the prism is 12. Height of the prism. Remember that. That's the key word there. Height of the prism. Whoops. That's supposed to be 2. Okay? Any questions on that? That's number 4. You can figure out the rest yourself. Number 6. We have a dome. With a chunk taken out of it. This is 18. And this right here. Whoops. Is 40 degrees. Alright. Remember, a couple chapters ago, when we want to find a sector of a circle that's missing, it's n divided by 360. Alright, so when we're looking for, excuse me, for the volume of a hemisphere, it's 2/3, right? Because we're only looking for half. 2/3 pi r cubed. Right? So, we're using our formula. So now we have to figure out the piece that is missing. Right? So, it's going to be minus 40 over 360, because that's our piece of our sector we're looking for, the piece of the pie that's gone, or the piece of the hemisphere, I mean. Pi. Okay, we're using, instead of using it before, we just use the area, because that's what we're using. But remember, we're using the the hemisphere formula. So now, we have to throw that piece into there. Alright, so then, just plug everything in. We know the radius. The radius goes from the center of the sphere to the top of the sphere, to the outer part of the sphere. So, we know that's going to be our radius. Okay? All this is in your conjecture packets that you have. That's why you have to use them. The more you use them, the more you'll remember this stuff. And the more you'll be able to look it back up. Because that's one of the most important things, is how to research things, how to find what you're looking for. Okay. That's not too bad. So now they have a wooden block, right? It's 7 by 7 by 3. All right. The base is 7 wide by 7, and the height is 3. Okay. Well, this is number 7. Now they want the biggest, the largest hemisphere that they can use. All right. So what could be the radius? It could be either 7 or 3. What one are we going to have to use? We're going to have to use 3, because if we use 7, the radius is going to be greater than 3, so it's going to be too high. The height is going to be off. So we're going to have to use 3 in our formula. What's our formula for a hemisphere? 2/3 pi r cubed. So what's a radius? Bad boy's right there. So, same thing. Plug it in. Okay, 9 and 17 is the exact same thing. Alright, so now, same thing. Number 17 is the same thing as 9 without the picture. So I'm going to do number 17 because it has a picture. Alright? It's another cylinder, right? From here to here is 36. From here to here is 9, right? That's what it's telling us. So, what's the width of our piece right here? Our cylinder? Alright, so it's from here to here, that's our diameter is 9.9, right? So what would the radius be? Radius would be 4.5, right?
So can you do homework even on Mondays?
Yes.
Because if you can do Mondays, Ben can do Wednesdays. Okay.
this again. Our diameter is 9, right? We put these two hemispheres together, which is going to be 9. Subtract 9 from 36, right? So now we have a cylinder of 27. So now we do the exact same thing as we did on number 4. We just plug everything in. Okay, 4.5. If we connect these two together, that's going to be our sphere, right? Volume of a cylinder, base times height. What's the base? The area of the base formula is r squared. Pi r squared times 8, right? Our radius is what? We already figured out? 4.5. So we plug all that in and we add them together. So that volume of that whole piece would be 4 pi r cubed plus pi r squared times our height. Remember, this is the height of the prism. Remember, always the base times height for volume. The h is a height. The large h is a height of the prism. Never forget that. And the base is the area of the base, not the base times the height. I know a lot of the homework before this, that's what a lot of you guys did. That's not right. Okay, so now, next part of it. You break these word problems up into pieces, and it's a lot easier to work with. All right. Now, once you get all this, that's how many gallons this tank will hold, right? I mean the volume, the cubic volume. For every gallon of gas or water, or what the gas is what they're in this for. Every gallon of gas, for every cubic foot equals 1 gallon, right? So, when we do this piece right here, all right, once we do this piece right here, this whole piece, once we do this whole piece right here, this is how many the cubic feet are in this cylinder. So every 0.13368 a cubic foot gallon is going to be in this. So we have to times it. No, I mean divide it. We have to divide it. Right? We have to divide this whole thing. Times and it'd be reversed. So we have to divide it. 6, 8. Because this is a cubic foot. How many cubic feet are in this? So now we need to know how many gallons are in this. So we have to divide it by how many cubic feet are in a gallon. Alright? 0.13368 cubic feet are in each gallon. Okay? So now, the last part of it is we have 20 gas cans that hold 15 gallons. Right? So we have to multiply that. So it's taking out 300 gallons a day, right? So once we find the answer to this piece right here, we're going to divide it by this. And that will give us how many days? how many days that the tank will be before it's all gone. All right?